Yo, 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 before we get right into it here, I have a free gift for you. It's summer. I imagine a lot of you are cutting or want to cut to look really good on the beach. So we actually have a free fat loss ebook we should be charging for, but we're going to give it totally free. Just exactly laying out how to lose fat, the process you want to take to make that happen. So if you want to grab that, totally free. Don't make the mistake of commenting on this episode because some people have done that and we actually can't contact you through Spotify or iTunes. So instead, go ahead and message us on Instagram at ColossusFit, ColossusFit. You'll see the picture is the same as the podcast art and just say fat loss guide and I'll send that over to you. No strings attached. All I ask is that you shoot me a follow at the very least and it'll plainly break down how to actually lose fat, how to get in a deficit, all the caveats, all that great stuff, because this is my gift for you. I want you to succeed with summer, and then these tips will be a lot more applicable as you enter your deficit. So let's jump into the episode here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fit, Healthy, and most of all, Happy podcast. I'm your coach and host, Josh, here with
his co-host and co-coach, KG, and I'm in the house.
And now that you got our free fat loss guide, you know all the good stuff of how to do it, how to make it happen. We're going to talk semantics and ways to make it a lot easier, because I've dieted before and I've struggled and I've done it the hard and the stupid way, as has Kyle. And then I've done it a lot of times where I've done it the smart way and it's just been easy. It's been a breeze. And these 8 tips are going to do that for you. And these are high level tips that will truly make a big difference. And they'll also help if you're maintaining just the same, because they'll help you feel more satisfied and create better habits. So I'm going to jump with my first tip and my biggest tip, and that's pre-logging and planning ahead in general. So if you're dieting and you actually want to succeed with your diet, you're tracking your calories and you're aware of what you're eating, because this is how we identify what we're eating and we make sure we're in a deficit to see progress. So the best thing you can do, and one thing I always urge my clients, is to track it before you eat it. Because when you eat it, you can't do anything about it. You can't get rid of it, right? Whereas if you pre-log it and you go, oh my gosh, if I eat this whole burger, I'm going over my calories, you can quite simply eat half the burger and you can play around with it. Just the same, if you know you're having a really fun night, you're going somewhere special, you're in New York for the weekend, you're getting a slice of pizza there, a New York slice of pizza, it's this famous place. You can look that up in advance and be appalled by how many calories it is and the horrible macros, but you can budget that in and you can build your day around it. You can make sure you're eating lots of healthy veggies, you're getting your protein, you can still hit your calories, you can go eat that pizza absolutely guilt-free because you've logged in advance, you've built around it. And by doing so and being prepared, this is going to prevent you from going off the deep end or deviating from your plan and essentially ruining your diet. So to me, this is everything, because we all always have a rough idea of what we're doing in the day. And just the same, if you know you're going out, you don't know exactly what you're having, you could start to tentatively budget in a few things, maybe a few drinks, and have more of like an instruction to follow as opposed to a guessing game. And just the same, if we just wing it and hope for the best and put in at the end of the day, you've already lost, because you're probably going to change those numbers to fit your rhetoric or what it may be. And you'll notice the more you do this and the more consistently you do this, the easier it is. And you'll just be absolutely amazed, because you can still do whatever you want. You could eat all the worst foods in the day. If they hit your macros, still be progressing. It's going to be harder. You won't be as satisfied, but you could actually go ahead and do that. So this allows you to live your life, still see progress, be ahead in your journey, and have more play. Because the worst is like just winging it throughout the day and then putting everything in, realizing at night there's some special opportunity or something you want to have, having no calories from it, and needing to make a choice of like, am I going to break my whole diet for this? So this is your way to have your cake and eat it too.
This is something that so many people struggle with, because if you're constantly feeling guilty, you're constantly feeling like you miss out, one of those two, it's not fun. Like the journey isn't enjoyable, but when you can actually get ahead of it, it makes it so much more sustainable, which makes such a big difference. I used to really struggle with this one especially. But number 2 is just simply hydration. So most people here know you should be drinking more water, but you can actually use this as a fat loss strategy. So what I mean by this is a lot of times people will make the mistake of thinking that they're actually hungry, but they're actually just thirsty. They haven't had enough water, and this alone can make a difference. So let's say 3 p.m. hits. This is typically when I start to feel a bit hungry. A little bit before dinner, I can just take an entire cup of water, chug it, maybe have a sparkling water, and that will just satisfy me. It's just because I'm, maybe feeling a bit bored. I kind of just have a weird feeling, and typically speaking, drinking a bunch of water will make such a big difference. Now, even past that, using different things such as sparkling water, BCAAs, electrolyte drinks, even saltier water can actually just give you the satisfaction, give you the feeling of like, hey, I had a bit of a treat for 0 to 10 calories, depending on what it is and whatever it is that you have. Even diet cranberry is something that I really enjoy in summer. It's about 15 calories per serving, and it gives me that satisfaction that a chocolate bar would give me, or something that's like 300 to 500 calories. So I really encourage you, especially as the nice weather's coming out and whatnot, just use this as a tool. Try to have something such as water, such as a sparkling beverage, something that will even, these types of things can fill you up, right, with the carbonation. So you can apply it how you will, but I will say this is definitely something that can help dieting feel easier, and it's something I personally implement, and I know a lot of our clients do as well.
Yeah, and on top of this, like one issue I think I've had, and one thing that's actually been a big solution for me, is when I'm cutting, I'll usually finish eating quite early, sometimes 5 or 6 p.m. I just find that's what's best for me. I prefer big meals, and we'll get more into this later. But by doing so, I have less food in my system, less sodium, less glycogen, all these great things. And when I wake up, I often feel like pretty depleted. And I find you can speed hydration sometimes with a little bit of salt. You don't need this too often, but if you're in a decent enough of a deficit, you'll find that salt actually can be a tool you can use. And a lot of people think, oh, salt's horrible. But in this circumstance, if you're in a deficit, you can utilize that salt to achieve hydration faster, get a little bit better pumps for your gym. And this has actually been a good tool for me only when I'm deeper in a cut. If I'm not in a cut, there's no need. I don't bother with it. But that is something you can play with. And I literally play with, rather. I just put a pinch of salt in my water in the morning, and I found it's been pretty effective. Like I said, I only do it when I'm cutting. So when I'm not, there isn't necessarily as much of a need, but that's another tool you can have. Just the same, sometimes I'll have just much fun with like a Gatorade Zero and avoid having a drink, or get a Diet Coke, or like Kyle with the sparkling waters, or even just water is often a great treat too. So you can circumvent a lot of that by getting ahead of that. So that's a great tip. My next big tip to make dieting easy, and this is probably one of the biggest tips of all, is just increasing food volume. It's absolutely amazing to me. So even the other day, my wife made me a bunch of potatoes, a ton of chicken, and a massive salad. And I ate like maybe 600 calories of that. And I was stuffed. I didn't want any food the rest of the day. I hit my calories. It was like a joke how easy my eating was. Had a healthy lunch, had a really healthy breakfast. Like I had like 100% clean, really good day of eating. And I was just so full. And it's funny because I was even in a bit of a deficit to that point because there was so much food volume, so much fiber, and it really made it easy. Whereas I've had times where I've had 1,000 calories of burgers and fries, and I'm like, let's get round two, give me another 1,000 calories. And that's because that's going to sate you way less. It's going to be way less satisfying, way less nourishing, because there isn't as much food volume, and your body will burn through the grease, the trans fats, the extra sugars way faster. So a great thing you can do, we're always talking 80-20. I find that's like a sweet spot. 20% still have foods you love, still have 80% fun foods, but maybe even move that to more of like a 90-10. If you're really deep in a deficit, you can triple down on more food volume by really just eating a ton of vegetables where you're really full, a ton of protein, like a ton of really good, lean, whole sources of foods. And you'll find you'll actually be pretty full even though you're in a deficit because your food quality is just so high. So it's a great workaround, and it's totally personal. Once again, you could achieve an amazing physique theoretically eating only McDonald's if you could hit your macros, but you'd be starving and you'd be miserable. And that's where I have a hesitancy. I actually eat just way cleaner when I'm cutting because it's just way more efficient, I find, and it's easier to actually adhere to my diet. So there's something you'll want to explore and definitely play with. And other great solutions here are like, we'll get into them later in the episode. I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, next up is just simply removing your cheat day, your cheat meal, your cheat weekend, whatever you want to call it, this whole cheating side of things. So a lot of people will just really throw the results out the window from specific scenarios like this. And obviously using cheat day as an example, like I could comfortably get up to 7,000 to 8,000 calories if I knew there was like a day where it's like I can't have anything throughout the week. I'm restricting myself. I'm saying no to everything. But there's this one day where I can go to the coolest spots. I can just eat whatever it is guilt-free, or at least, you'd call it guilt-free because you're, accepting that you're having a cheat day, and just throw all my results out the window. The deficit that I was in during the week, completely gone. You're just not going to feel great. And I don't think it's as common these days, but I still hear a lot of people talk about it. And especially in like the bodybuilding world, some people still, they're pumping crazy amounts of steroids and they're doing their cheat days. And it's just like, what are you doing here? They're giving a bad example to everyone who's just trying to be healthier and lose weight and whatnot. But this alone is just a really bad approach. And I just don't think it leads to any healthy habits. And that's why we are such fans of flexible dieting, where like you can incorporate something. You can have your cake and fit it into your calories and whatever it is that you want to have. And that way you're still in a nice, comfortable deficit each day. Like even some people, they'll be in a deficit, let's say 2,000 calories every day. That cheat day on Sunday goes to 6,000, right? Even maybe Saturday will be a high calorie day. It might be 5,000 or 3 or 4,000. And once again, when it comes down to this completely takes you out of that deficit, which is just going to hinder your results, and you're going to have to catch up afterwards. And it's not a fun feeling. So avoid making this very common mistake.
Yeah, that's a big one. If you want to spin your wheels and waste your time, do cheat days, because it messes everything up. It's this weird cycle too. So Kyle nailed it there. So the tip I was going to get into previously, I was going to spoil. One thing that I've loved lately is an afternoon protein veggie snack. So I'll have like 30 to 50 grams of protein in the afternoon. So I'm have a more typical 3 meals, 1 snack type day typically. So I'll usually eat 8 a.m., like 11:30, and then I'll usually have a massive dinner at 5. So there's a gap in between that. And in that gap, I've found that when I have like a lot of protein, a lot of veggies, I'm quite full. It really holds me off the dinner, and it allows me to eat more of a tempered dinner. So if you want to explore and once again, I could have a snack like a bagel or something, but I just find I get hungrier. It just triggers that response. Same, you're going to have chips. Like, you're going to naturally want more of this tasty, salty, good thing, or even sweets just the same. So it is worth exploring, just like having a bunch of veggies, a bunch of protein, because it'll just fill you up so much. Because protein in particular is a nutrient that will especially fill you. Obviously, having a lot of fiber and volume from veggies is going to absolutely stuff you out too. And it's going to be so low calorie relative to it. It will just help you with that food volume and help you stay on the rails.
Yeah, absolutely. That's been helping myself as well. And I know a lot of our clients incorporate it. Just like, it's crazy because that alone can help you keep your calories down. It may not seem like it for some people, but it's like when you feel satisfied, and even going into dinner, you may grab a smaller portion, you may make better decisions just because you've had that little protein snack with those veggies, which will fill you up nicely. But next up, you want to have a food cutoff time. Now, I'd say for the most part, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, there will be times even for us where we have something planned, or we have some sort of event we're going to. Maybe it's after volleyball, we dedicate time to go somewhere, or UFC event that we're doing, whatever the case is. But most of the time, nothing good happens after insert time, whether that's 7 p.m., especially 8 p.m. Typically, you're just going to want to go to the cupboards, look for whatever you have. You're going to want to just get a bunch of unhealthy stuff. So by having this cutoff time, it helps you out. And even I'd go one step further is to and I talked about this recently, but just not needing a dessert always after dinner, because oftentimes it's just you having something for the sake of it, just because you want it. But if you say, hey, by this time, I'm not going to eat afterwards, I'm going to brush my teeth, I'm good to go, maybe have some water and whatnot, you'll end up consuming less calories. And even the studies that have been done recently, like, let's just say you're sitting in front of a TV watching Netflix, it's so much easier to consume 20 to 40% more calories just because you're distracted, you're watching TV, your willpower is a little bit lower. And this is how a lot of people get out of a deficit, by just consistently eating in front of a TV, being bored and tired at the end of the night, having low willpower. So by saying, hey, I'm done after dinner, I'm cut off, it'll help you save calories, and it makes dieting so much easier.
Yeah, next up is just walking more. So walking is like a net neutral energy, if not energy booster, which is absolutely amazing. And there's a lot of benefits outside of it. It'll decrease cortisol. It'll make you feel happier being outside as well. And it actually is a light appetite suppressant as well. And it can reduce hormones like gherlin, which just sound evil and menacing. And that's actually the hunger hormone, which will make you feel more hungry. So by suppressing that, that's to your benefit. So a lot of the time, instead of reaching for food, you can actually go out, improve your activity, burn more calories, and actually tide off some of that hunger that perhaps may come. And this has been a big tool for me. Whenever I'm in a cut, I'll just try to walk more, because it's very low intensity cardio, but it's a great way to still get in movement and activity. And most often you're not eating while you're walking. So I find sprinkling these in boosts energy, pushes off some hunger, and really helps balance things out. It's also a great digestive aid after you eat. To go out and go on a walk is another fantastic way to feel good and feel balanced. And generally when you're cutting, your stomach feels quite good because you're not eating a surplus. Everything's nice. Your skin, you're eating really healthy. So you have those benefits. So it's a great opportunity to begin to stack these.
Yeah, so well said. And that's going to bring me into the last tip here, which is just simply stack good days and keep stacking them. Let the momentum carry. It's honestly amazing at how great you can do when you just let that momentum take over. I think a lot of people struggle because they have a lot of just momentum killers, right? Between small pleasures that you try to give into, between a lot of things that you say yes to that you probably shouldn't be saying yes to during your dieting phase. And so even I'm such a big fan of starting Monday off as strong as you physically can. letting the momentum carry. Monday turns to Tuesday. We've got 2 days checked off. All right, Wednesday, let's absolutely crush it. And it's also a good reminder, like, not to let the weekend kill you. I think that's where like people just really let the momentum like completely die, and then they feel like Monday needs to be a completely fresh start. So yeah, that's pretty much that. I really encourage you, implement all these tips, stop making the kind of mistakes that we talk about within this as well. And my biggest thing is get the free fat loss guide. There's no strings attached. We spent a lot of time putting together. It's 33 pages of just straight tips, a lot of things that you've probably never even thought about on your journey. And we'd love to share that with you. So message us with the keyword fat loss guide. We'll send it over. And thank you so much for spending time with us today. We'll see you in the next episode. Peace out.